What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, ready to deliver you our Week 6 Team Builder here in the BTA Season 8. We are currently 4-1. I think we have like a plus... trying to think what our differential's at right now. It's up there. It's up there. We won Week 1... Week 1 was 6-0, Week 2 was 5-0, Week 3 was 4-0, then we lost 1-0 to Arceus Week 4, so we're down to plus, and we won Week 5 against the Los Santos Sceptiles, plus 5, so yeah, we're plus 19. So, our differential's been kind of wild this season, and it's either been like really tiny losses or big wins. So hopefully we can keep up the big wins trend this week, but I'm not feeling super duper confident. And that is because we were taking on Fish in the Toledo Wooloos here in Week 6, and his team, prepping for his team, has been nothing short of a nightmare. And I never thought I would have this much trouble dealing with a team, but it's been something, to say the least. So his team consists of Mega Camerupt, Kartana, Melodic, Serena, Zoroark, Magneton, Primeape, Neolego, Togekiss, Latios, and Golbat. Okay, so the things about his team that upset me. One, Mega Camerupt. So we don't have a switch in to Mega Camerupt. Like a good switch in. Like a super safe switch in. We don't. Because our bulky water is weak to ground. And everything else... the rest of our team, we don't have a fire resist. Like the thing that would have been potentially safest would have been like Bile or Oricorio, because it's fire and flying, so it's immune to the ground and resists the fire. But I ran a few Galks too, and Bile or Oricorio, even if it's like super bulky, takes a crazy shit ton from a fire blast, and Mega Camerupt regularly does tend to run rock coverage, so that's a bye-bye Oricorio. So that's super unfortunate. Also Kartana, we have one switch into it. Just one. That's it. And it does its job. My webcam... Never mind, we're good. It froze temporarily as I was like touching my ear. That was really, really weird visual. But we have one switch into Kartana, which works. It does its job, but doesn't hit it back for a lot. So that's fun too. Melodic forced us to bring a member this week, which is annoying because I hate having to be forced to bring certain things, but nonetheless, here we are. And it's one that can't touch Mega Camerupt. So that's also fun. He has Primeape, so we automatically lose because I can't kill Primeape. I can't do it. I refuse. I won't do it. All seriousness, I'll find a way to do it. I might just not look at the screen. I might like look away or close my eyes if he brings it and I have to kill it. He has Zoroark, which is extremely annoying because it's one of those things that you constantly have to try to be aware of. It's those extra details that you have to be aware of with everything, with every single mon. Like, how much Stealth Rock chip are things taking? Does it take more or less Stealth Rock chip? You know, if he's disguised as Magneton for some reason, and I see Magneton come in and it takes like 12% from Stealth Rocks instead of 6%. I have to pay attention to things like that. Every little minute detail is crucial. Because he could disguise it as Mega Camerupt. And like use Flamethrower with it at some point in the game, and I wouldn't know that it's not a Mega Camerupt. Or he could disguise it as, say, Serena, and then just U-turn out, and I wouldn't know that it wasn't a Serena. So a lot of annoying things can take place thanks to Zoroark that I am not excited to deal with. Yeah, so that's unfortunate enough as it is. Magneton, I'm not too stressed about. We have plenty of ways of dealing with Magneton. Serena, we wall that thing pretty much outright with Amoonguss, so I'm not worried about that. Primeape, again, annoying, but I'll find a way to kill it. If I have to look away, close my eyes, I'll do it. Nihilego. This is something else that caught my eye in prep that I don't really have anything for. Yeah, so it hits hard, and if it gets a Beast Boost up, we can essentially just lose the game because it's that big of a pain. You can also set up an annoying amount of hazards. You can set up rocks and or toxic spikes, and we can deal with toxic spikes thanks to Amoonguss, but rocks are annoying. We do have a spinner with us this week, but it's still not going to be fun. Like, we can spin for free against his team, which is good because he doesn't have a ghost type, but doesn't mean I want to have to do it. So hopefully he just doesn't bring Nihilego. That would be great. Fish, I know you're not going to see this before the battle. Can you not bring Nihilego? Thanks. We're actually battling tomorrow at like 2 p.m. or something like that. Something like that. Well, later today, technically at 2 p.m. because I'm currently recording this at 4:30 a.m. Because I don't sleep anymore, and it's been a bad week for me mentally. So I've been a bit distraught lately. Well, that's nothing I need to bother you guys with. Togekiss. Flinch shenanigans could be annoying. So, not looking forward to that. I have things that outspeed it, but doesn't make it less of an annoyance. Because if it runs like a Scarf set, I have literally one thing that can deal with Scarf Togekiss. And it also has to deal with a lot of other things on his team, so that's going to be annoying. Latios. We don't have a switch-in for Latios. Like a great switch-in. That one kind of came down to we just didn't have room on the team for enough things that we would have needed, which is very unfortunate, but it is what it is. We don't have a great switch into it on our team, period. So our best switch-in would have been to Blade, but the Blade just doesn't. Like, it does nothing to Kartana, really, unless we're in close combat. It does nothing to Mega Camerupt and gets nuked by it. Random Zoroark just nukes it. Magneton traps it and does crazy damage to it. It's just, there's a lot of factors that go into to play that make Blade not work here. And then he has Golbat, which isn't, like, out of all the things on his team, it's probably the least annoying thing to deal with. But at the same time, like, it's so bulky, and like I believe we did bring rocks this week, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if I actually kept it on the moveset, but I'll have to take a look. We'll see, obviously, in a minute, but it's a really, really good defogger, and it's a really big pain in the butt to break through. I'm hoping that with the presence of things like Raikou and other things on our team, I'm hoping that it doesn't show up, but I could very well see it happening. So we'll just have to... We'll cross that bridge when we get there. If we can get his Eviolite knocked off, that's the best case scenario. So I'll have to be focusing on doing that. But to get into things, first thing I want to discuss, obviously, is our Volcanion. Buzz-Buzz-Knee Volcanion with Flamethrower, Scald, Toxic, and Protect. 248 HP, 168 special attack with a modest nature, and 92 into speed. The 92 into speed is to outpace a min-speed Melodic. If he's not running the Flame Orb set, which I don't think he would. And the reason I don't think that he would run the Flame Orb Marvel Scale set, and this is just a thought that just crossed my mind. Looking at our team, like, Melodic just naturally walls out most of our physical mons. Outside of, like, Zygarde, and Zygarde has to, like, set up to do it, and Melodic can just carry Ice Beam to deal with that. So I don't particularly think that he'll be running the Flame Orb set. I think he'll probably have lefties or something like that on it. So with that in mind, this thing outpaces Melodic by 1 point if it's min speed, which is important. And then can Toxic that thing and Protect to rack up Toxic damage. That's kind of the goal with this thing, is you just kind of throw off Toxics and hope that he doesn't switch in. Well, he won't switch in his Steel types on me. He could maybe he'd switch in Nihilego if he's like really, really bulky, but it doesn't seem like smart. But yeah, hopefully I can get some Toxics on some key switch-ins. Latios would be great to Toxic. Melodic, of course. And Mega Camerupt wouldn't be bad either. Okay, so with the 168 Modest Nature, I actually had, like, I think it was like one... I don't remember how much I had to invest. I think it was close to this amount, and then I ended up just boosting it a little bit because I had leftovers after I did the speed and gave him like near max HP. I had to invest a lot to make it so that, like, if he's max Spadef, like max HP, max Spadef, Camerupt, I had to invest a lot to make sure Scald O-code. And the reason I'm running Scald instead of Steam Eruption is mostly, like, looking at Fish's team, he has only 2 mons that are weak to Scald, or weak to water, right? He's got the Mega Camerupt, and he's got the Nihilego, right? Scald and Steam Eruption have the same burn chance, 30%, right? Scald is 100% accurate. Steam Eruption's like 90 or 95, right? It's 95. Now, if y'all have been paying attention this season, we haven't exactly been the luckiest when it comes to hitting that move. There have been way more instances of us missing that move than I would like. So, like, obviously I'm still going to run it sometimes. Obviously, like, you know, if it's key to picking up certain KOs. But this week it wasn't necessary because there wasn't that many water weaknesses, and there was like enough water resists that I figured it would be kind of justified. It would be kind of fine to just run Scald. Yeah, so ran Scald, but with our special attack investment, we do 100% OHKO, like a max HP, max Spadef Camerupt, which is great. And then the 30% chance to burn is super important. And then we just have Flamethrower, because Flamethrower will help us break through things like Serena and Kartana pretty easily, as well as things like Magneton. And like, he has as many water resists as he has less when it comes to fire. His fire switch-ins are Latios, Nihilego, and Melodic, which Nihilego is not safe because of the water, and we have the Toxic for the Milo and the Latios, so that's not too bad. The reason we're Air Balloon is so like he doesn't like if he hasn't seen it at all yet, or if he's in a situation where he feels he can click like an Earth Power or something, trying to predict our Volcanion switching, we can essentially somehow get it, like sometimes get a free switching, straight up. Or like if he picks up a KO with Mega Camerupt, we can just bring Volcanion in on it, and it forces him out essentially because there's nothing he can do to us that's like going to OHKO us. So this puts us in like the air balloon has a chance to put us in a really comfortable spot where we can like force him out and fire off a Toxic or something like that and catch something off guard, or we can just fire off a Scald and catch a burn on something along those lines. Like Volcanion makes sure that happens. We're going to have to be very, very careful with the air balloon. We don't want that popped too early, and we also want to try to avoid revealing it early, because we want this to be like a really like nice in back pocket tech kind of thing to deal with the Camerupt. So hopefully that will pan out for us. Next up, we are bringing Shroomsy the Amoonguss, fully physically defensive, straight up fully phys def, Rocky Helmet, Gig Drain, Spore, Sledge Bomb, and Foul Play. This thing needed to be here because one, it can come in on Serena for free all the time. Get that Rocky Helmet chip, which is nice. He has a decent amount of physical attackers, like things like Golbat, Primeape, and especially Kartana. Kartana is the main reason why this thing is here this week, because basically we can live any one hit from Kartana from full, I think even after rocks, and yeah, that's important. We can get that Rocky Helmet chip on him, and what's also cool is if he is like an SD set, if he's a choice set, then that makes Amoonguss even better here, because Amoonguss can just come in and swap right out, come in, swap right back out, come in, swap right back out, and not stress. That's important, because it means that we have a dedicated switch into that thing all the time. What's really important is if he's an SD set, this Amoonguss beats it 1v1. Because bar a crit, the only thing that he can potentially KO us with is Psycho Cut, right? And I could be wrong, but I'm 99% sure Psycho Cut makes contact. I'm going to look really stupid if it doesn't. Really stupid if it doesn't. Does not make contact. Fuck. I was banking on that shit. Alright. Well, regardless. Even if it doesn't make contact, that doesn't really matter. Okay. Sorry, he sets up an SD, right? Only thing that could KO us at +2 is a crit Psycho Cut. Okay. Foul Play at +2 to Kartana does 81 to like 94%. So if he clicks anything that's not Psycho Cut and like makes contact with us or has taken any prior chip damage, Foul Play KOs it, which is great. Now, if he's Life Orbed, or he's got like some kind of damage boosting item of some type, then we'll die to a Psycho Cut. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. There was nothing that we could do to prevent that and allow Amoonguss to still benefit. Like, we basically have to have Rocky Helmet, Amoonguss this week just kind of makes the most sense. And we need him to be fully phys def. We need like this set is the one that we need for this week the most. I feel very strongly about that. So, granted, this thing is not OHKO'd by anything on his team, which is great aside from Mega Camerupt, so that's kind of cool. And unless he's running like crazy speed on Mega Camerupt, we should outspeed it, which is also cool. So we can just Spore the damn thing. Spore is going to be very important in this game. getting literally anyone on his team to sleep is great. And if it's Kartana, if Kartana wants to try to come in on a Spore, then we just foul play it. And he also takes Rocky Helmet damage if he doesn't play Psycho Cut, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the plan with Amoonguss. Just standard Amoonguss set. Nothing really to write home about. This thing can also sit in front of Milotic for days, and not care. And as long as we have like something else to switch into, like this thing just can beat Milotic straight up 1v1, which is great. So yeah. Next up we have Archangel, the Mega Absol, and we are running enough speed to outpace Latios, max attack, and then 40 into HP. Now you're going to see how terrified of Kartana I am. Okay, you're going to see it, like live in front of your face. You're going to see it. Because we were running Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Flamethrower, and Thunder Wave. So Knockoff and Sucker Punch, pretty much unguarded against his team. Like he's got the Togekiss that come in, but doesn't really want to lose this item. Like once Togekiss has lost his item, I can 100% beat Togekiss, no problem. I have other things to deal with Togekiss. Excuse me. Primeape resists it, but once it loses its item, which probably would be a Choice Scarf or something along those lines, it's not really a threat, and we have ways of dealing with it. Amoonguss switches in on it easy, and Zoroark is super frail, so if it gets hit with the knockoff, it's probably going to like take over half from that, and yeah, that's again, I'm not super stressed about it. It would be big enough damage to make it so that it couldn't really hide it safely again, which is nice. But yeah, that was pretty much all I needed against his team. And then Flamethrower, because even with a Jolly Nature, I think Flamethrower does like 240% minimum to Kartana. So if he's not a Scarf Kartana, and we can figure that out, Flamethrower is just safe to click on that thing, because we do outspeed Cart. And then Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave I thought was an interesting bring, because like, yeah, he does have some like decent switch-ins to this thing. If we can force something out, like if we're guaranteed forcing something out, or if I feel strongly enough that we're forcing something out, I can click Thunder Wave. Or if I feel like I need to sack this thing, I can click Thunder Wave on something and get a para on it, making it so that the rest of our team can deal with it much easier. For example, like Kartana. If like Amoonguss goes down at some point somehow, which I don't think Amoonguss has died this season yet. I think it did. I died once, I think. Yeah, because I think we had it against Arceus and it died in that matchup. I think. But regardless, it has died very little. We can Thunder Wave the Kartana, as you know, it would go ahead and kill us. Actually, we just Flamethrower Kartana. Bad example, but you know what I mean. If we feel like we need to sack Absol, or if we feel like we're getting like properly forcing something out, we can fire off a Thunder Wave, paralyze whatever comes in, and deal with it from there. So that's going to work. Next up, we have a name change. While we were prepping, Ayla decided to change a couple more names. So we have Zappa. I believe this is how it's spelled, because I changed it back temporarily, but I did promise her that she could name the Mons. So I was wrong to change it, so I changed it back, because I'm a good boy. I'm a good noodle. Why is that Thunder? Why do we have Thunder? Thunder should not be there. I don't know why Thunder's there. Yeah, so we're Choice Scarf, Inner Focus. Why are we Inner Focus? We don't need to be Inner Focus. We should be Pressure. Okay, glad I caught that. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, And I don't know why we have Thunder there. I think that's supposed to be Aura Sphere. That's definitely supposed to be Aura Sphere. I don't know why we would run anything else. I think it's just something I forgot to change. Oops. Oh well. Well, it's changed now, so it's fine. But, yeah. So we have True Scarf, Raikou. This outspeeds every single mon on this team. Period. No matter what. Which is important. So we're going to have to be very, very careful not to get knocked off at all. He has a ground type in Camerupt, so we can't just Volt Switch for free. But his electric type switch-ins don't appreciate a Shadow Ball. And, you know, we can very easily deal with... You've already seen to deal with Camerupt, so I'm not super worried about it. I think once... If we can get Camerupt going quickly, or if Camerupt doesn't show up, being able to Volt Switch freely around his team is very, very important, as well as being able to outspeed everything. It's going to be very clutch, I think, for us in this matchup. So, yeah, there's not really a lot to say. Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, obviously, stab, keep up momentum. We need to bring this thing specifically because Milotic exists. This thing's also important for Golbat, because being able to smack Golbat with this is going to be crucial, because Golbat's going to be really hard for our team to break down. So hopefully we will be able to do that. Shadow Ball is for the switch-ins, for like Latios trying to switch in, if it wants to try to switch in on us. Could also get the Spliff drops, which is nice, which would be nice. Aura Sphere is for Magneton. That's about it, because it hits Magneton super effective. That's really all I can say. It's pretty straightforward. Next up, we have the debut, finally, 6 weeks in. The debut of Dillo the Armaldo. Originally, I had this thing nicknamed Cambrian because of the era that it was in, but Halo was like, hey, it kind of looks a little bit like an armadillo. And I can agree with. I know what animal it's based off of, but she's not wrong. So, I felt like I wanted to have Rapid Spin this week, and I felt like this was a matchup that Armaldo can actually do well in. So, we have the Rapid Spin, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and X Scissor. Max HP, 120 in Spadef, and 136 speed with a Jolly Nature. So, the 136 speed with the Jolly Nature allows us to... I believe that allows us to... What does that allow us to outspeed? It allows us to outspeed something. My brain just completely turned off. Let me pull up that calc on my phone. I need to make sure I know what I'm talking about, because I'm losing my mind. Alright, Armaldo. $136. Jolly Nature. +1. 264. What is that for? Oh, that's max speed Magneton. Gotcha. Okay. I'm good now. Yes, so we have, that speed allows us to outpace a Magneton at +1. If we can get off a Rapid Spin, that would allow us to, and once we get a Rapid Spin off, because we can, again, freely Rapid Spin against this team, that puts us in a position to outspeed that. If we can get up 2 Rapid Spins, we can outspeed his whole team, barring any Scarfers, of course. Because, like, Scarf Kartana would outspeed this, and Scarf Neolega would outspeed this after a second Rapid Spin. But that's fine. Actually, after a second Rapid Spin... after 2 rapid spins, we could actually outspeed everything naturally. So, no Scarfers, but yeah, we would outspeed Latios after 2 rapid spins. That's why we did this. Which is actually kind of cool. Battle Armor, obviously, so we cannot be critted, which I think is very important against a mon like Kartana, which can run things like Leaf Blade, which can crit us. Our dual stabs hit really hard this game. That's what's important about this, is X-Scissor plus Stone Edge hit really, really hard. X-Scissor blowing through the Latios, Stone Edge blowing through things like Togekiss and Golbat. X-Scissor for like Zoroark and Serena, stuff like that. And then we packed on the Earthquake because it gives us super effective coverage for Mega Camerupt. It gives us super effective coverage to Oko the Magneton. It gives us the ability to Oko Nihilego. Just all good stuff. All good stuff. I feel like Battle Armor was our best ability here because we're not going to be trying to set up the rain, so it doesn't really matter to have Swift Swim. And then Boots, obviously, for like if he gets up hazards, we want to be able to avoid that damage so we can get rid of them appropriately. This thing is very important because of Nihilego's presence, because Nihilego is his main hazard setter. I think it would be Mega Camerupt can set rocks, but I don't see him using stealth rocks on Camerupt. Like if he's gonna bring hazards, he's gonna bring it on Nihilego. So yeah, that's our Armaldo. Then our last mod we're bringing this week is Free Wi-Fi, the Licky Licky. This thing just had to come this week. There was really no debate here. I needed as much bulk as possible. His only stab fighting coverage for this thing would be Primate. And so this thing, with the HP and defense investment, with the 120 and relaxed nature, it can guaranteed live any one hit from Kartana, and we do have the flamethrower teched on there to knock it out, which is important. We have Wish, Heal Bell, and Knockoff as well. Knockoff is always important in Draft League, I think. It's super crucial to always have Knockoff available. With things like Golbat running around with their Eviolites, I don't want keeping that. And anything that might want to switch in on my Licky Licky, we can get rid of their items. That's always important. And then Wish, because passing wishes on this team is going to be very huge. It'll allow us to keep things like Raikou healthy, keep things like Amoonguss at their maximum, keep Volcanion at a good amount of HP, which I think is very important. My cat is snoring like crazy. Loki is snoring up a storm. Adorable. Yeah, and then Heal Bell, because obviously there is the Toxic Spikes from Nihilego, but things like Togekiss tend to spread Paras, Golbat tends to throw around Toxics, as well as Milotic throwing around Toxics or Scald Burns. There's just a lot of things that I feel could throw around a lot of status. I felt like having Heal Bell would be very important because we need as much HP on our team as we can get this week, because it's a tough matchup. It's a very tough matchup. I'm definitely not feeling really confident about this one, but hopefully we'll be able to pull it off. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you have not already. And you'll see the battle go up tomorrow. Until next time, though, guys, I'm PokePrimer, and I'm signing off. Peace.